What's going on, Soul Nation? Ginger Prime here, and we've reached the conclusion of Legendary Armor Week, in which we've seen just a taste and sampling of some of the legendary sets that we can expect to find for the different classes in Outriders. So, at the end of the day, this was a really fun week. I was really happy to finally start getting some perks, some mods, some stats, more things to do to kind of like put together with the skill trees and more. So there's a lot of build ideas running around my head, and obviously we'll have to go and test these out on the 25th of February and when the game eventually releases, hopefully on April the 1st. At the end of the day, I'm going to say hopefully because we've all lived through 2020. And, anyway, we're not going to curse it. Let's go ahead and just dive in to the video itself. Now, this is just my stupid opinion at the end of the day, like what I came away from the week impressed, what was powerful, what stood out to me the most, what maybe I wasn't so impressed with. And it's important to you, like, to know my bias at the end of the day. Like, I was definitely between Devastator and Technomancer until a friend said, hey, I'm going to go and play Devastator. So I was like, oh, easy shift. I'm going to go play Technomancer. So you're going to catch some of that biasness. So this isn't me hating on any of the classes, mind you. Again, this is just my internet opinion, and we all know what those are worth. A pile of beans. That's what I'm going to say. We're going to go with it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to start with the Trickster because I love lightning. I love time. So I was slightly more impressed by the skill and the power, especially when you combo those from the footage that they're showing off in the video. And the look isn't that bad. So the Trickster, I think, came away stronger than what I was expecting originally. Now, at the end of the day, I'm still not going to main Trickster at the start, but it'll be interesting to see ultimately if that when you kind of dive in and you kind of play them, sometimes I find myself surprised by the classes that I like and enjoy. So Trickster right now is not sitting at the number 1 slot, but it's definitely in the 2 or the 3 slot, depending on if I do decide to go Devastator right after playing Technomancer. So just keep that in mind. I think the aesthetics are very pleasing. I wish they did something a little bit more with the eyes on the Technomancer itself, like with a glow, and maybe there'll be other variations of this gear. So I like how kind of the blue aesthetics coming out of their head. In my mind, some people didn't like that in the comments, and I don't blame them, but it's still kind of funny because it's like there's going to be things that you're going to find appealing, and there's going to be things that you don't enjoy overall. But I really kind of appreciated that with the Trickster. So they came away, I think, stronger than what I was expecting them to. But at the end of the day, like, it's still nothing to kind of move the needle in terms of what I really want to play at first. But I was really happy to see that in the long run. So from here, we move on into kind of a hybrid score. Just keep this in mind. While I think that the Devastator's look wasn't that great, there is some competition with the Pyromancer in terms of look itself. Now, I think the overall Pyromancer set for the body looks really cool. The Pyromancer's goggles wasn't that impressive. Same kind of thing for me and the Devastator. But the Devastator, in terms of that cooldown that it was showing off, if you really want to be rushing forward and doing that melee, I have to say that actually got me excited. My bias is coming into play here in that regards. But when it comes down to it, I would definitely say from the Devastator's power that they showed off for us, that it definitely felt more powerful than the Trickster. I thought the Trickster was definitely better looking than the Devastator, but the Devastator and the Pyromancer go back and forth. That body piece on Pyro looks amazing, but the face piece I wasn't that impressed with there as well. So this is kind of that piece of it kind of blending in Pyromancer because I think it's important. I think if we're going to just get to the root of it, note that the winner and visuals for me was easily the Technomancer. And again, like I said, my bias is coming into play. I thought the goggles, I thought the whole look and feel very aesthetically pleasing. However, I do like pets. I do like kind of the mines aspect. I think that overall, like from what I was wanting for something in the legendary category for the Trickster, not Trickster, the Technomancer, was something to do more with the turret. So I have to fault. And if I was going to give kind of the weakest power award, it would go to the Technomancer. But the Technomancer wins the visual award for me. So visually, very aesthetically pleasing. And at the end of the day, like, this is just me watching them show this stuff off. So it could be that having those 6 mines, dropping those cluster bombs, they're showing it off and it looks okay, but it wasn't, for me, as impressive. And I know I'm kind of just trying to not piss you off, anybody who was just like, this is exactly what I want, and that's great. And so this isn't me trying to get you down on it. But if I have to give it a score, that's what's going to go with it. Now, here's where it comes down to. I said I didn't really like the Pyromancer's look in terms of their helmet. I didn't find it that aesthetically appeasing. The burnt brown essentially wasn't working for me. But the power, I have to say, if I was going to give the power award, it goes to the Pyromancer. Them showing off those 2 big explosions are incredible, especially when you talk about how that can pair with some of their other skills, and you could just kind of get these chain burst reactions going and going and going, and knocking two guys off at once is important. It's a critical aspect of the whole package. So to bring this all back around in a 360 kind of degree way, or 180, I don't know, degrees in this case, I'm going to say this. I think if you're going to rank it on looks and aesthetics, Techno got it. If you're going to rank it on power, Pyromancer, holy smokes. I think everybody's bringing something interesting to the party, but I'm more than anything else looking forward to seeing what other legendary armor and what other legendary weapons, and maybe we'll be going into Legendary Weapon Week this week or soon. I don't know. We'll find out as soon as that happens. And I think essentially when it comes down to the build, there's going to be a lot of mix and match. What this week tells me is that there's going to be something for everybody. When I was just looking and hanging out and talking with you guys in the comments, there was a lot of pros and cons. Like a lot of people saying, that aesthetic isn't so pleasing, or I wish it kind of had more power. And there was also people then countering like, oh man, this is exactly what I want. And that's something that I think is really exciting about like this game, as it's proposing itself to be, as it's like trying to sell itself, as it's presenting itself, I guess is the correct way of phrasing that, because essentially they're saying like, yeah, there's so much that you can do to mix and match, and it's going to allow for a lot of customization and more. Anyway, those are my rankings for this week. It's been a fun week. Thank you all for hanging out. I do want to say thanks for all those who joined us on the podcast. It was a lot of fun, and like I said, we're going to try to get Vulcan on, and we're going to try to get Brutal Expert on in the future. Vulcan's about to have a baby, so congratulations again to him and his family on that. So I've been through that before, and we'll have to have some fun with it. But I do also want to say, Gray Mark, you are the comment of the day. Thanks so much for leaving this comment saying, my class. As I solo a lot, I like the idea of having the best healing clan classes to come, and who doesn't like turrets? Obviously commenting on the Technomancer. So hopefully, Gray Mark and all, you guys have had an amazing week, and hopefully you have a really great weekend with it. And finally, I do want to say thank you to Billy L for hitting that join button and supporting the diaper fund here at Ginger Prime. That's what you guys are doing with your support. So whether you're just here hitting that like button, watching, or sharing a video, thank you guys so much. And then Billy stepping it up at the Bahamut level, unbelievable. Thank you so much, Billy, for that support. It really does help me try to make the best content that I can, and also get you guys more content as well. So I appreciate the support. Completely, optional, so nobody feel pressured by that. But I do want to say, for those who are over here on this menu page, on this members page, thank you guys so much for your monetary support. It really does mean a lot to me and my family. And with that, we're going to conclude this video. I'm very excited to share more with you guys next week. I got a couple of videos planned, and hopefully I'll be able to get back to some guides. It's been crazy. It's been busy. There's been lots of news to cover, and we'll hopefully have a new podcast for you guys rolling out this week as well. If you guys have any thoughts, feedback, suggestions, always welcome. Let me know. You can leave them in the comments. You can reach out to me on Twitter or on Discord. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Have an amazing weekend, and I hope to see you soon. But take care. This video is sponsored by me, Ginger Prime. Hopefully you'll check out my podcast channel, Ginger Gaming Radio, which we have lots of guests, lots of great conversations, and even more highlights. Links are in the description below. Let me know what you think. Thanks.